Welcome to Rhythm and Roads, everyone. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest with us. We have actor and producer Julian Cavett. Welcome to Rhythm and Roads, sir.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man.
Oh, yeah, man. It's such a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this interview for a while, so I'm glad that we made it work out. So thank you so much for your time.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, thank you for having me. Also, a special guest appearance, my pug,
Oh, there you go.
Vader.
Oh, so cute. What's your dog's name?
His name's Vader, like Darth Vader.
Oh, Vader. Good
Yeah,
name.
I figured
Wow.
breathing problems, it kind of, you know.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah. So if you see him running around, that's just him.
Well, I know Vader had a big day recently on May 4th, so I bet he was watching Star Wars all day.
Oh, yes, yes. He's very, very educated in Star Wars. We celebrate almost every day.
That's cool, man. That's well, thanks for bringing him on. That's funny. All right, man. Well, thank you again for your time being here, and let's get into your story. So, I always like to ask the journey and so of the start of you pursuing acting. And so, I wanted to get to the chapter one of Julian on the road back when it all started. So what interested you to want to become an actor? Was it a certain film that you saw growing up? Was it a friend or a family member? Just what was it that sparked that interest?
There's several things that did it. A huge part is my family met when they were in New York.
Okay.
I have two brothers that are still over there. I I think and I was born in Queens, and what's it called? I was just always kind of doing commercials and modeling for small things here and there as a
Okay.
kid. So since like I was like 8, I've been kind of I quite literally don't know how to do anything outside of what's in this business. Um, so, that's kind of where that all started. And then when I was about 4, 5, we decided to move to El Paso, where
Yeah.
my mom's side of the family was. And I was like, all right, cool. I have no choice. I'm 5. So, we came down here. My family split. My dad moved to LA. My mom stayed in El Paso. And I
Oh.
bounced back and forth between Los Angeles and El Paso growing up.
Hmm.
So it was a very interesting experience for me. Um, I got to learn and be a part of like the film industry and entertainment in general when I was in LA. And then when I came back to El Paso, it was a completely different world where
Oh,
like no
nice.
one really knew what was going on over there. And
Hmm.
I was just kind of the odd man out for a very long time.
Hmm.
So it was super interesting for me on that end. But yeah, that was kind of what sparked it is it's just I think sorry, my dog. So I think the movie that inspired me the most, which is kind of crazy to say that I watched as a little kid, but
Yeah.
is Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, dude.
When I
It's
tell
a good
you,
film.
I watched that movie every day.
Wow, that much, huh?
Yeah, loved that movie.
Oh,
Still love the
man.
movie.
Dang.
But yeah, I was a kid, and then my family's like, I don't know if he should be watching that. They're like, oh, he likes it. It keeps him quiet. Just let him do his thing. Like,
That's
so yeah.
Private Ryan. I
From
would have
there,
never known that. That's interesting.
yeah, yeah. That and Godzilla. Godzilla was always kind of my go-to thing when I
Okay.
was a kid. You remember when he was like wearing a suit and he was just walking
Oh,
around
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like super cheesy? Yeah, that was my Godzilla. And then when I was a kid, I used to pretend I was Godzilla. And when he was ever in the my couch would be like this would be a building. And like if he's in the water, I'm in the
Yeah,
water. And then he comes out, I jump on the couch and he starts smacking buildings. I'm like,
yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Good old times, man.
yeah, always been acting, whether I'm being a lizard monster or Saving Private Ryan.
Right. Wow, man. That's so cool you got to live in LA.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's a
man.
very interesting environment.
I
I
bet.
got to live right off of Venice Beach. It's
Oh,
on
sure.
28th Avenue and Speedway, which is like Venice Beach, and then Santa Monica is like right next to it.
Hmm.
Um, we didn't have money, but like we just made it work, and it just happened to be like the poorest beach in the area. But I would go to Santa Monica every single day and watch street performers, and I thought they were like the coolest damn thing ever.
I bet.
Um, and one of them, you're familiar with b-boys, right? Like the guys who are always like spinning on their heads and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I went to the event and they would perform every single day, and I thought they were the coolest dudes ever. And I memorized their set because they never
Oh, you
actually
did.
changed anything. They just kept the set the same, and like the audience would come, they'd entertain everybody, and then one day they do this thing where they call like the whitest dude that they see to come out and like try to do a move, and then they'll just make them look completely awful. It's a joke they do, and
Okay.
then they called me, and I was like, oh, and I just started doing their set.
What?
And they were like, wait a minute, you can, how do you know this? I was like, oh, I watch you guys every day. You've never seen
Dang,
me? I'm
that's
like,
crazy, dude.
yeah. So
Wow,
that was
man.
really cool.
That is cool. So yeah, they're like, oh, okay, we have a real loyal fan here.
Yeah, yeah. And
Comes
then
every
they let me
day.
be part of their crew for a little bit. Like I got to perform
Yeah,
with them when I was in
awesome.
LA. So that was really fun.
So you used to break dance with him then? Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to break dance with them, do all the tricks and stuff. I
Oh,
my musicality was really bad. I didn't know musicality at the time, but I
oh,
was like,
okay.
oh, they want me to do a flip right here, cool. And I did the flip. But
Yeah.
then as I grew up, musicality became. I was like, oh, if you do it on beat, it's even better. So
That's funny, man. Wow,
yeah,
that's so
yeah,
cool, man. Thanks for sharing that. That's so cool.
of
And I
course,
bet you miss LA at times, though. I mean, the weather, just the vibe.
yeah. It's interesting. I do miss LA to a certain extent. Like as growing up as a kid, it was definitely very interesting because I was there with my dad, and then I was in El Paso with my mom. And
Mm.
then it got to a point where I started seeing like the differences on like just like I don't know, just cultures. Like you just see different things with different people. My dad was completely like uh Democrat, my mom's Republican, my mom's Christian, my dad's everything else. And it was like, what on earth?
All
So
separate
I got to
worlds, huh?
yeah, yeah, two different worlds
Yeah.
completely. And so was LA as far as entertainment, because I think LA was just so far ahead of El Paso
Oh,
that
yeah.
when I came back and I was like, you need to see what's going on. And they're just like, no, you're dumb. There's no way. And then later on, like 6, 7 years later, it'll come out. And I'm like, dude, I knew about that when I was like 12. Like, yeah. So it's
Wow.
interesting. It was really interesting.
That is interesting. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, what a
Yeah,
cool
of course,
story,
man.
man. Man, that's so cool that you even learned how to break dance a bit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I remember back in the 90s watching, friends do it. They bring out their cardboard and
Oh, yeah.
get out there in Adidas outfit and just put the jams on. Dude, it's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start on the journey of you starting as an actor. So what was your first role of like, how did that door open for you to pursue that?
When I was a kid, I was just really lucky that my family was submitting me to stuff. But what I will say is after I started being more part of El Paso, I
Yeah.
really had to like keep on the DL that I was a performer because when we were kids, if you're not in sports and stuff, you're not the cool kid.
Uh,
I couldn't tell people that I was a dancer, an actor, I'd just be a loser. So I kind of kept it to myself. So kind of I lost a lot of momentum.
wow.
And then when I was right when I graduated high school, um, what kind of peaked it again is that I was doing college, and then I was hit up, crazily enough, by Bizarre Models, which
Oh yeah,
is
bizarre.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting segue. But the first gig I got from them was a Super Bowl commercial,
Oh wow.
um, which I was just like, oh, that was weird. And I just got another commercial, and then I got another commercial again. And fun fact, I quit film and acting during college because I got really mad at it. um, and I became a dance major, and I graduated top of my class in
What?
dance. And
Whoa.
then I was like, that was a waste of time, and I went straight back into film. Um, like I say it's a waste of
That was
time,
a
but
waste
honestly,
of
I learned a lot.
time.
I was like, why would I
Wow.
do that? I was really petty.
That's funny.
But yeah, yeah. So my college life was a very interesting experience because it started. I don't know if you noticed a lot, but when you see me on Instagram, I'm always somewhere else.
Yeah.
I travel a lot.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
it kind of started in college. I got accepted to West Point, and then I went there. I realized that I wanted to make movies. That was my passion.
Yeah.
And I told them I was like, I respect the military. My family's all military based. I want to make movies.
Mm.
That's just who I am.
Mm.
And they were like, okay, well, we're gonna have to wipe all your credits off because you're leaving before the first semester. And if you finish a semester at West Point, you have to serve a year in the military.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
every year that you fully do, that's 2 semesters, is 2 years in the military, right?
Right.
Um, so they got me out right before I had to do my time. I had to lose my credits and everything. I went to McMurray University in Abilene, Texas. I got a scholarship for film theater and track. I was a
I'm
high
sorry, what
jumper.
was the name of the college in Abilene?
McMurray University.
Meg Murray. Okay. Because I used to,
Yeah, yeah.
my dad and my stepmom used to live in Abilene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I would go visit
It's a
them a
college
lot.
town.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's a small
it's
town
Hardin
too.
Simmons,
Yeah, Hardin Simmons.
Abilene
Yeah.
Christian,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and McMurray.
Interesting. All right,
We're
cool.
the odd man out.
Well, here in El
But
Paso. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and man, I had a really good time there. But let's be honest, when you get a scholarship, some people respect the scholarship, some people partied a little too hard. I
Mm.
partied a little too hard, and I lost my scholarship. I at the time I was like, oh, it's because of the teachers that they hate me, so I'm going to become a dance major and I'm going to show art. What's up? And then I became a dance major and I graduated. I was like, I'm going back to film. I really, really miss it. So,
That was in
yeah,
Abilene too that you graduated in dance?
I ended up coming back and finishing my degree in UTEP.
Oh, at UTEP. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so from there, I didn't even walk on my graduation day because
Oh,
again, I was just like, oh, that's a waste of time. Like I was like, I need to catch up back on my career. I need to go back and grind again. So what did I do? As the day of my graduation, I booked the flight and I went straight back to LA. And that, I mean, what are you gonna
what a
do, right?
trip, man. God, I
So
can't believe we can't do this interview in person. I mean, like, God, it's so exciting.
oh, dude, man, I've had a life, man.
Oh, dude.
I I don't know if you noticed, but I was doing the musical Grease.
Oh, yeah, I
Um,
saw photos of that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I was talking to some people, and it's a fun fact. I was like one of the oldest people in it. Um, uh, but I was talking about something, and this one of the actresses was like, Julian, I need to know your lore. Every time you say something, it's like absolutely insane what you've done, and like it's just how do you fit all of that into one person? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm in my 30s. I'm not like you guys were in your 20s right now. I actually traveled all over the place. So anyway, sidetrack. Shout out to ADHD. What was the last thing I was bringing up?
So you brought up Greece, and then you brought up the going to LA on your
Oh
graduation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I went to LA and then I tried getting my career going from there. And the whole reason why we were even talking about this is because you were talking about the differences between El Paso and LA and how great it was being in LA. When
Yeah.
I was a kid, I loved it. But as an adult, when I got there, I missed Las Cruces. I missed El Paso
Oh.
so much because the people here are just so much nicer.
Mm.
And what ended up happening is I was in LA and I would have to take like a weekend off every month and come back to see my friends and family in Cruces and El Paso because I was just it felt like the older you get and the more you're in the business, the more you realize everyone wants something from you
Mm.
to boost them up at your expense. And it got exhausting having to put on this mask and smiling all the time and trying to make everyone just like try to like you because you're an actor and actors have to make everyone like them. And it got really, really exhausting.
Wow.
And around that time, a little before then, actually, in high school, I started working on like trying to figure out camera and like certain things in the film industry. But I really started hitting it up when I went to LA. I was trying to figure out how camera works because I was like, okay, a lot of actors are waiters or something that's just like not doing them any justice. I was like, how can I learn more about the business that I'm in so that I can negotiate?
Mm.
So my overall goal was to become a producer one day.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm still like in my 20s at this point. I learned camera, I learned grip. I'm a crap gaffer, but I really tried. But I learned I got to do costumes, makeup, learned quite a bit of it. And around that time, I got to do a show. There's a reality TV show called Love Connection that I got to do.
Oh, cool.
It was a little weird, but I won it.
Hey, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
on K Fox or whatever, but
Love
It
connection.
was a very interesting thing because they were like, oh, like you want to do this? We can. They wanted to cast me as the lovable nerd
Oh,
because I loved Star Wars. And then, man, they made it look like all I do was talk about Star Wars. I was like, no, dude. Like, I know my dog's named Vader, but like, that doesn't mean that's all I talk about.
right.
So I won that show. They asked me. I remember getting an email asking me to be on The Bachelorette.
Oh,
Um,
no
and
way, bro.
and I just said no because reality
Oh,
TV
bro,
show is.
really?
I didn't want to be known as the reality TV show guy. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to.
Wait, I'm sorry, but
Um,
they asked you to be the on the Bachelorette or be the next Bachelor?
yes, be on the Bachelorette. Like
Oh, to
I'm
be
one
on the
of
Bachelor.
the
Okay.
like 30 guys in the
Yeah,
mansion.
yeah.
They're all competing for one chick. Gross. So I was like, no, I don't want to be on TV and known for that. I want to be on TV known for doing good performances that change people's lives
Okay.
and inspire them to do this.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so from there, I had a really, really crummy roommate situation where I ended up homeless for
What?
about 2 months.
Dude.
Um, yeah, because I finished that show and then I got asked to
Wow.
do I think I can talk about it because again, like this was years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
These people are kind of out of date anyway. But I had the opportunity to drive to South by Southwest to meet the director of this movie that was very interested in having me being one of the three main actors.
Oh,
The
wow.
other two actors were Ellen Page and James Franco.
What?
At the time, they were like a really big deal. This was before
Yeah.
Ellen Page became Elliot Page. This was before Franco,
Oh, yeah.
became was known for being Franco. And I drove 20 hours all the way to South by Southwest for
Oh
this
my
interview.
God.
My roommate called the producer who wanted me to be one of these three people and the director and said like basically false things about me. And I got there and I was like, "Hey,
What?
where are we meeting?" And they're like, "Hey, this person sent us some stuff. Um, good luck in Texas. We just don't want to meet with you." So I sat
Oh,
there, I cried,
dude.
I drove back to LA, 40-hour drive there and back. Got there,
All in one
found out that
shot?
they kicked. Yeah, oh, not. I cried and slept that night, and then I woke up and went
Oh,
straight
okay,
back.
okay. I was all like, dude.
Got back to LA to find out that I don't have a place to stay anymore.
Oh,
So I was living outside my car, and then luckily within like a month to 2 months, I was able to figure out a living situation. But that was my first time ever like experiencing like what Hollywood people will do to you to get an up. Like because my roommate, he even spoke to me. He was like, "Hey, I don't like that this producer's talking to you about this stuff." And I was like, "No, no, no, no. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm working. The whole purpose of me moving here was to do this. And
right.
she's wanting me to have this interview with these people." And he's like, "Well, you're not allowed to do it." And I'm like,
Your roommate was talking to you like that?
"Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I'm like, "Who are you?" Um,
Like, okay.
and long story short, he's like, "You're not allowed to go." We had a huge talk about it. And I said I'd think about it. I didn't think about it. I just hopped in my car and went.
Yeah.
And he knew it obviously, so he called them and the whole thing happened. But yeah, like it's a really cutthroat business over there, and it's hard because the word of mouth is just like without facts and everything like that. It's just it can really just dunk on you, and you can easily break over the pressure of people's opinions.
Mm,
And it taught me to not really worry about people's opinions anymore,
mm.
which later on was really a huge asset to me when I moved back to New Mexico. Because when I moved to New Mexico, I got to work in Abilene, Texas. Um, uh, and my first week there, there was a movie called News of the World with Tom Hanks, starring Tom
Okay.
Hanks. And my roommate at the time was like, "Oh, I'm background for this movie. You should, apply with Lori Latham castings." Which Lori Latham's absolutely amazing. She's still up and kicking, man. She's great.
That's
I met her when she was first starting, and she's like, man,
wow.
she's amazing now. Um, and Lori was like, "You have a good look," because I usually have a beard.
Oh,
I just got out of Greece, so my beard's still coming back. This is only like 2 days of growth,
all
but
right.
it's kicking.
Yeah.
Um, so I had my beard going on, and she's like, come on in. Like, I want to use you for something. So I was
Yeah.
background, and they put me right in front. I got to work with, I got to watch Tom Hanks work in
Oh,
front of
wow,
200
really?
people. Yeah, he
Oh,
had this
dude.
huge speech, And fun fact, like they had like teleprompters all over the place.
Oh,
Like,
wow, dude. That's so
but he
cool.
kept,
Oh,
yeah, and he kept looking at me, and he was just like, all I did was listen to him.
yeah.
I laughed when he said his jokes. I clapped when we were supposed to. And there was a moment when we were during a cut, and he looked at me and goes, "You're a really good listener." And I was like, "Thank you. I'm just doing my job. They
Yeah.
sat me here. I'm laughing when I'm supposed to." And then one of the ADs came up to me and goes, "Hey, are you Julian?" And I was like, "Yes." They're like, "The director's asking if you know how to improvise."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, I do." And he goes, "Cool. Walk up to Tom, shake his hand, and let's see what happens." And without even thinking, I just went,
You what?
and I walked straight up to him, and
Oh, dude.
his character's named Captain Kidd, which he said like a million times
Yeah, yeah.
in the speech. But I just walked up to him and was like, "Captain Kidd, thank you so much for joining us." And he's like, "Thank you for having me." I was like, "You and your daughter are welcome here anytime." And I just turned around to 200 people who are staring at me watching this. And I'm just like, "Ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen, let's give it up for Captain Kidd." And then everyone's like, "Wow."
yeah, yeah.
And like, it was super
Mm.
cool. Like, it was like the dopest thing ever. I got to work with him for like 4 or 5 hours.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, and we
Cool.
just changed the scene up all the
Yeah, yeah.
time. It ended up not making it on the cutting room floor. I mean, it made it on the cutting room floor, but it didn't make it in the film. But man, getting to work with him was one of the
Oh,
best
yeah. Oh,
experiences.
I
He's the
bet.
nicest man ever.
Is he? Wow, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I
all the
always
rumors about
wondered
him are
how
true.
Tom Hanks, I mean, I'm a huge fan also of Tom, but you know
Yeah.
his film that he directed, That Thing You Do?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Have you
yeah.
seen it?
I have not. I want to
Good.
so bad.
So good. Well directed.
Yeah.
Wrote the
Oh,
script. He stars in it. But dude, he loves promoting it too. Sometimes when he's at his the award ceremonies, he always likes
yeah.
to say certain lines from the movie. But dude, that's a great movie to
Oh, dude.
catch. So that's so cool you got to
I
meet
will
him.
definitely make notes on that. I'm actually
Yeah,
going to do that
That
right
Thing
now.
You Do, yeah.
That
It's actually on
thing
a thing on
you do.
Amazon Prime. But yeah, it's
Okay. All right,
one of his
dude. I'm
all-time
checking it out.
best work. Yeah, dude. But that's
But
so
it's
cool,
just
man, that you got to work with him.
I mean, I grew up watching the same movie over and over again with this guy, and then I had a chance to actually sit there as an adult with my childhood hero and actually work with him. I like you can't make that up, man.
Oh
It
no,
was one of the most amazing experiences I've
oh
ever had.
man. Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Remind me again, what was the films that you liked of Tom growing?
Oh, the movie's called News of the World.
News of the World. Okay.
Yeah, in the very last scene, you'll see my ugly mug just going, and it'll cut right back to him. But
Okay.
man, when I tell you, like, I still get messages from friends of mine who were like, "Bro, I'm still pissed that you got to work with
Ah,
Tom."
dude.
He's like, I was just sitting there watching it. I was like, this guy, and it was my first week ever in New Mexico.
Was it?
It was oh my God, it was the best week ever.
Oh man. Have you ever worked with
Yeah.
anyone else? Any other actors or?
Yeah, yeah. When I was in LA, I had the opportunity to in in Westworld. I was
Oh,
just
that's
one of
oh really?
they're called a PMC. It's basically one of the guards that like keeps the robots in check or whatever.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey Wright was a super sweet guy. He plays oh my God, it's like Nestor or something like that, or starts with an N. I can't remember. But man, he was just such a nice guy, and I just got to sit next to him and talk to him for a little bit.
That's cool, man.
Like nothing crazy to note about, but it was just
Yeah.
I was just like, "How's the weather?" You know,
How's the way?
he was playing with a mallet. I remember specifically when I met him. He was there was like a giant like mallet, you know those things that you like slam on the
Oh yeah.
tires and like CrossFit places and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just there, and he was just like playing with it, and, like just fiddling with it. And I'm sitting there with my gun, and I'm like, "Do you like think you're like Thor now or what?" And he just goes like this. He goes,
What do you think like your Thor?
he goes, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Julian." "What's your name?" He's like, "I'm Jeffrey." I was like, "It's nice to meet you, Jeffrey." Who he was, but I
That's
was just like,
funny,
I was
dude.
trying not to like get
Like,
in trouble,
right?
just play it off. Oh man, dude. And we were working on season 2, episode 1. I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but he like
No, I
wakes
have
up on
not.
this beach
But I've
and
seen the
like all this
poster of it.
craziness
Yeah.
is happening. Yeah, yeah, it's dope. Another actor I got to work with. This movie will never. see the light of day if I have anything to do with it. But I had to work with Eric Roberts. I know Eric Roberts has been coming here a lot recently,
Yeah.
but years ago we both starred in a movie together that we both mutually agreed we should just wipe from our IMDb and never talk about it ever again. And my interaction with him was really interesting because Eric is a super sweet guy, but like he's a busy man. I don't know if you know this, but how many this man has a ton of movie credits. I think he's the most credited actor to date. Like he has
Really?
like
Oh,
800
shit.
credits, like 700, 800 credits.
Wow.
Like that's a lot.
That is, yeah.
So that man is always on the move. Like the guy is going city to city, knocking out movies. And when I first met him, he and I had a disagreement on what should happen, and we almost got in an argument. The director's just like, no, you guys are like we were. Eric meant this, right, Julian? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, fine,
Oh
all right,
man.
cool. And then Eric extended an olive branch, was like, hey, dude, the scene would be really good if you did this. I think he's
Yeah.
like, just take it from me. And I was like, you know what? Thank you, Eric. Let's try it. And now we're friends. I have his phone
Oh
number.
wow,
I
that's so
actually
cool.
I actually texted him when he was in Crucis
Okay.
last year.
Okay.
I was just like, hey man, heard you're doing a movie. And he was like, dude, if I had time, we'd grab some food. But I was like, man's busy.
Yeah.
But it was just good to see that he's actually still up and running. Man,
Yeah.
like I don't know how old he is, but like that's my dream is to be running around still acting and still getting to do what I love at that age. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. Of course. And I'm so glad right now you're still doing that. You're still out and doing
Oh
film
yeah.
on sets. Were you with thank you for sharing that fun story, man.
Of
That's so
course.
cool. Yeah. Um
Yeah, I have
were
a
you
million
with
stories. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting about, but
if it comes to memory, go ahead and share it.
oh yeah, yeah.
Were you with Ryan Robson yesterday for Valley Sessions?
So I work with Ryan Robson quite a bit. He's a really good friend of mine. I'm one of his producers for Valley
Oh
Sessions.
heck yeah,
He is
dude.
the founder and director. He is the man, dude.
Oh,
Like
good.
he man, I remember when I first moved here and he just didn't know what to think of me. I didn't know what to think of him. And we were just working on movie sets together.
Oh.
And we're just look we would always end up on the same movie set and we are just like,
You're like, okay, we're meant to be friends.
yeah, all right, cool. I guess you must be something.
Right, something.
Yeah. And so one day and I've been telling I guess he heard because I had been again at the time when I was in LA I've been working on doing producer stuff so I was trying to figure out how to do different avenues of filmmaking
Okay.
that way I could um fully do this as a job because I wanted my waiter job to be a producer.
Okay.
Like remember I was saying like how all these actors are always
Yeah.
waiting on stuff or
Right.
doing like office jobs. I told him I was like I told my agent this all the time. I was like my waiter job is being a producer and it drives her nuts because she's like being a producer is like what you should be no matter what. And I was like yeah, but I love acting.
Yeah.
Like this is all I've ever known.
Yeah.
Anyway, but going back, Ryan and I kept running into each other, and Jonathan Sepp from 828. It was before he was 828. He was part of the Las Cruces Film Commission. Gave me the opportunity to do location management in Las Cruces.
Oh, cool.
So definitely a heavy task to pick up. Locations is a really intense job. I don't know if you've talked to any location people recently, but basically every single thing that you see on a movie set, um, I had to do the contracting for. I had to meet them. I had to convince them that having 80 people run around and destroy their house was a great idea. And that we would leave and it was like we were never there.
Oh,
And then I get them to sign a paper. We pay them lots of money. We shoot a movie and we leave. And I'm in charge of all of that.
dang, dude.
Um, and so when you watch a movie, every single time you see a new location,
Yeah.
like the location manager is the one that got it. Like we're one of like the six key people of getting the movie done.
Wow.
And so Seth really gave me a really big opportunity because I tell this to a lot of people. There's my mentor was in Boston. He taught me how to do this properly, like location management stuff. He's in
Really? Okay.
yeah. And Peter, what he told me is he said there's two ways to become a producer. He goes, you can either become an assistant director and go through all the hell that comes with it. I don't know if you know anything about assistant directors, but they have to do scheduling. They have to take all the heavy loads so the director doesn't have to. The director gets to be creative and it's sunshines and rainbows. The AD, like takes all the other stuff, which is never fun.
Right.
And they know everything. If anything's wrong on set, the AD knows first.
Mm.
You know, so they're weighed down by all this stress, and then they're like, "Okay, we're ready to roll. Okay, action." You know, and then
Oh,
and then
okay.
the
I'm sorry. I
director
was
was like, "That
listening.
was
All right,
fantastic.
acting.
What a great day." And then um, and I
Oh,
realized that
good stuff.
small side note, ADs don't live very long. They have an expiration date because of the stress that they endure themselves, and they're usually like 50s, 60s is usually like an expiration date for a filmmaker if they
Okay.
stay as an AD for a real long time. So if you're ever wanting to be in the film business, you know, don't do AD. Uh, but the other one, which is a lot nicer and more fun, is
Yeah.
the location manager. However, locations isn't really respected as much as the other departments because they're the ones like strategizing how the film's going to be done, the more artistic stuff. I'm
Oh,
more
cool.
contracting
Yeah.
and making sure it's ready that day.
Yeah.
So when they get there, they're not like, wow, Julian, this location's great. Thank you. They go, get out of my way. You're in the shot. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm an
So
actor
that's kind of
too.
what I got used to. I mean, we're saying sorry.
Yeah. That's funny, dude.
Oh, well, yeah, that's basically what I was used to. So I told myself I'm gonna do location management, and I'm gonna build up um a basically like a roster of people that I know and people that I've worked with and people that I've helped get locations from. Like I'm good. I have a good relationship with the police department. I have a good relationship
That's
with our
cool.
airports.
Wow.
Um, And so, long story short, a few people started coming to me and they're like, "Hey, we need to know about this stuff." And I was like, "It sounds like you need a producer." And they're like, "Well, yeah, but we have our producers. They're coming from New York." And I was like, "Does any of your New York producers know how to operate here?" Well, no. Cool. Then it sounds like you need a producer. Like, and so I started negotiating. Hey, I will get you crew. I will get you
Wow.
cheap locations. I will get you everything that you need, equipment. I can get you all of it. Just put me as a producer.
Right. Right.
You know, and that's how I started kind of weaseling my way into this the position I've wanted. And luckily, my resume was just so good as far as like doing every single position.
Yeah.
They labeled me as a fixer. Basically, I am the guy that if the cameraman gets really sick, I rush him to the hospital. I come back. If we don't have an extra guy to do camera, I pick it up, and I'm like, all right, cool. What are the settings? What do you need me to do?
Wow.
And I'll do that. Um, so yeah, I love that part of my job. That's how I met Ryan. Ryan has been one of the most amazing directors. He's a phenomenal prop master. Dude's got it, like where
Right.
it's going. And one day he just went up to me. And he goes like, he's like, I didn't know what to think of you, but man, like I think we could do something really good. He goes, I really want to help musicians and create something for
Yeah.
Las Cruces, And I was like, well, let's do it, So we've been doing that since. I didn't get to be on set with him yesterday,
Oh, okay.
but we schedule quite literally everything that's going on with Valley Sessions together. We have a lot of things in the works right now that I can't really talk about yet,
Yeah.
but very very good things, very positive things that are for Valley Sessions, and I think for Las Cruces in general.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's just one of the things I produce. I'm also the co-owner and producer of Lemur Creative Studios, which is an El Paso-based business, but we travel the world. We've gotten to work with names like Elizabeth Olsen. We're about to do a Spectrum commercial with a lot of famous soccer players. They're
Oh,
actually
very
in
cool.
Guadalajara right now shooting.
Okay.
Um, they left yesterday. If you check my story, I'm literally like just sharing all the stories of our business, like doing stuff. And they're like, "Well, what do you do, Julian?" And I was like, "Well, I sit on the couch and I make sure everyone's good. Like, and I get all the credit. It's really dope."
Right. That's funny.
So,
Oh my God.
but yeah, Lemur's been doing really well. We have huge clients like Applebee's,
Really? That's
Great
cool.
American,
Wow.
BMW. And we just started in like February.
Okay.
So we've been moving up a whole hell of a lot together. Paco Ibarra is my partner in crime. He's been a filmmaker from Mexico. I don't know if you've ever met Paco Ibarra.
No.
Fantastic dude, super sweet guy. Um, one of the nicest people I've ever met. I don't think I'd ever partner with anyone otherwise. But man, he just came up to me with this idea years ago, and he was like, "Here's what I got. What do you think?" And I was like, "Well, let's keep brainstorming it." And we kept working together. And then one day he showed it to me, and I'm like, "This is going to be a really good business."
Wow.
And what we do is we do high quality content for local businesses like in Las Cruces and in El Paso that are affordable pricing.
Wow.
Um, but with filmmakers, because the film industry, as thriving as it is in New Mexico, it's
Yeah.
been a little lackluster lately.
Oh,
There
yes.
has a lot of filmmakers have been struggling here and there.
Mm,
So I was like, well, how can I create consistent income to where people can still do what they love,
mm,
but they're not going to be making $650 a day,
mm.
but I can make sure all their bills are set, that they can live their life, they can work freelance on other projects, and then when a movie comes, they can do whatever they want. And
Oh,
that's what Lemur is.
okay. Very
Yeah,
cool,
so
man.
it's going really, really well.
I'm really happy for you guys to do that to help the community, El Paso and Las Cruces. That's pretty.
Yes, no, yeah, and that's a big thing for us. We're really trying to just the quality as far as like I think there's this I actually heard this the other day. I had a meeting with someone that I'm really excited to be producing for in El Paso, but they said it's really such a shame that El Paso and Las Cruces, when you see a commercial or something,
Mm.
um if it's really good, they'll be like, that was shot here, like, and I was like, well, yeah, like of course it was shot here. We shot it with people from the region.
Yeah, yeah.
And she said it's a double-edged sword because it is really nice, but it's a shame people don't expect it.
Mm.
And I was like, that's the purpose of Lima. We want to the quality of the overall view of this region while we also travel and do we have some contracts with potentially some sports areas in Los Angeles, um, Houston, Mexico City. Like
Oh, very
things are
cool.
going really well.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is our home. El Paso and Cruces is home to me, and I always want to make sure that I'm not leaving this area. I stay here. This is where our base camp is, but we travel the world, and I want people to know that people from Cruces and El Paso are doing this.
Right, right.
So yeah, and that's been the dream.
Oh, yeah, man. And you're living the dream. Good for you.
Oh man. Feels like I'm sitting on a couch, but just joking
Right.
with my phone.
I know. That's funny, man.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
actually,
that's the.
go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I worked with Ryan because he's actually interviewed. Well, he's helped me with two interviews, Jordan
Oh
Taylor
yeah.
and Nick Brower. Uh,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
so I went to his house, to Ryan's house, and we set up the cameras, and so we did like an in-person interview.
Oh
It's
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it's been such a pleasure working with Ryan. I actually want to go this Friday to help him on one of his music videos he's doing in Las Cruces. So
Yeah. Oh, dude, great. Maybe we can run into each other. Hopefully we can, man. I'd love that. I will say this, and I truly, truly mean this. I think Ryan is like the best overall filmmaker from Cruces.
wow,
Like
what a compliment.
I wouldn't have said yes to working with somebody if I didn't believe in someone as much as I believed in him. And his intentions are purely good. Like he just wants to help people, which is just one of the like most admirable things about him. And I remember sitting there one day with him, and I was just watching something that we worked on together, and I'm just like, God, it was him, me, and some other person. Like people spend millions of dollars, like a $3 million movie that may never be seen. We did it with $500, and we
Wow.
did the exact same thing.
That's
But most of it was Ryan,
yeah.
and I really think he's really something else. So like, it's always a pleasure to work with him. I really hope you like we get to actually hang out on set together, so
Oh
we
yeah,
can
man.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
grab
don't know if you're
a
gonna be
beer or
there
something.
Friday. Are you gonna be there Friday?
Friday. Let me check my schedule.
I looked at his schedule. He said he's there's another music video in the works for May 9th. I think
May
from three
9th. You know what time?
I think three between 3 and 6 or 3 2.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can definitely be there in the beginning. It's because I have a huge meeting with Lemur with the city
Okay.
um, in El Paso at 6,
Okay.
but literally I can be there from like 3 to 5. And usually I help him set up.
Okay.
And then I'm just like, you good? And we just high five and I just leave. It really looks like I do nothing, but I swear I'm doing a lot.
That's funny, dude. But yeah, man,
So
it'd be great to meet you in person. And yeah, I definitely want to go on Friday because I told him I would help out the bit when I can, and I'm off Friday. So,
yeah.
well,
Well, stuff do you do with film? I'd love to know more about you, man.
oh, all right, man. Well,
Yeah.
my focus right now is definitely rhythm and roads. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
I really want to get this to a point where it's collaborating with other filmmakers. I told Ryan I want to collaborate with him with Valley Sessions, meaning like
Yes.
if there's ever opportunities I can interview the artists before they actually do the video, I could do like a 5 minute right there with them.
Yeah,
And he's like, "Well,
that's
yeah, man, you're
crazy.
always welcome to do that." And of course, my Clark Kent job is I work at Costco, so I work there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but after that,
Man,
man, I'm all full
hang it
fire.
up with the discounts, man. I'm just joking.
Well,
But
your
on a
family don't
serious
even
note,
get discounts there as employees.
I know it's so but what's it called? I was just telling Ryan, I was like, yo, we should do a podcast. Like we should make a Valley session be an all-day event.
Mm.
Of course, this is only on paper right now,
Right,
like,
right.
but it's so crazy that you said that you wanted to do interviews with them. Because I was like,
Yeah,
wouldn't it be great to actually interview the artist on a podcast of some sort? I was like, we can make one, we can team up with one. Doesn't matter, but we need to make episodes for what we're planning
right.
on doing about this artist. And I think that would be just so awesome. Like, I
Yeah,
really hope
dude.
that works out.
Yeah,
That's
and
so
Ryan
crazy
was
how
def
that just worked. Wow.
right. Yeah, and so Ryan was definitely supportive of it. He's like, "Yeah, you can come." He just told me do it within the 2 hours that we're here to do it because if you
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
outside of that, that's extra time. But if you want to interview the artist while we're within that 2 hours, while we're setting up the cameras and doing all that,
Mhm.
you can definitely do that. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. It takes us
So,
a minute to set up.
yeah.
We have a lot of really great volunteers and people who just come in who just really want to learn film and Ryan, Kent, myself, we just want to make sure that people get training in film in some way, shape, or form, especially if they're going to be doing this service for us for free. We'll often let some people be like a second AC.
Mm.
We'll be like, hey, all right, cool, this is a slate. When we're shooting here, that you're gonna write this on this thing. All right, cool. I was like, are you down to do it? And a lot of times they're really shy. They're like, well, I've never slated before. And I was like, cool. Like you're on a film set with filmmakers. This is the best time to try it.
Right?
And
Just
I was
do it,
like, and
man.
if you do
Try it
something
out.
wrong, we're not gonna be mad at you. We're just
Yeah,
gonna
we're not
say,
gonna
hey,
bash you. Yeah.
yeah, we're just gonna be like, hey, good job. Next time, say it like this. All right, cool. All right, high five. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because how do we learn otherwise?
Right.
In LA, the film industry is so, and this is something I had to learn with my current business with Lemur,
Okay.
is when we first started, I realized how like stressed I was.
Mm.
And my business partner's like, hey, Julian, why are you so stressed? And I'm like, well, because we don't know about this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, or this thing. And he goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. He goes, those are all problems he's like, that's the whole reason why we produce. We're gonna solve them. I was like, yeah, but on film sets, he goes, yeah, I know. But let's change the narrative a little bit. Let's not make film such a environment where everyone is stressed and it's very like I don't like the word toxic, but just an environment that people just don't want to be in
Right.
because of the stress that they start like enduring. Like we're like instead, let's just have a good time.
Mm.
We will handle the problem as they come. The whole point of us owning the business and being the owners is because it falls on us, and we have to make sure that everyone else is having a good time and that our client gets what they want, and that's it. And so I try really hard nowadays to do that. It's really hard. I'm used to film sets. Everyone's just yelling at each other, and then we go grab drinks, and then we're just like, "Yo, I really hated you today, but you're a cool cat. I'll see you
Yeah, no,
tomorrow." All
after a drink, yeah.
right.
Yeah, we're all hugging.
So
I love you too, man.
yeah, yeah. And then the rap party comes, and everyone who like just absolutely hated each other, we all hug each other, and I'm like, dude, I'll see you on the next film, dude. You're cool. You're cool, man. I'll see you later. And then we get on the next film where we're yelling at each other all over again. Um,
Oh, dude.
so it's really nice to be in an environment that is not promoting that level of stress. So of course, the environments are still stressful, but it'll be a situation where like, um, oh, I broke a light. It was an accident. And then we sit there and we're like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you for telling us. It would have been bad if we found out later. Thank you for telling us right away. How are we going to solve it as a team? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We have a PA. We'll send him out to go get the light.
Yeah.
and then we can fix this thing, and it's really nice. And film has always kind of created that environment of just communication.
Yeah.
Um, if something happens wrong, we all know whose fault it is,
Mm.
pretty often. But the more upfront you are about it, the sooner we can solve the problem,
Mm.
and it just makes
Makes
life
it smoother.
better.
Yeah.
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 My first time ever working as a camera, I don't want to go too much, but like the first time working on camera, I lost the footage
Oh,
to the
wow.
film.
Oh, dude.
It was my first day on camera, man. And I walked up to the camera guy. I remember I was so scared and had a really good resume, but I never truly worked on this type of camera or this level of a film set.
Yeah.
And his name's Ryan Alexander. I'll never forget him. He's the sweetest guy ever. Him and Jay. I walked up to him and he was like, "Hey, you the AC?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "All right, cool. You're gonna hook up this monitor, and you're gonna make sure it wirelessly connects to both cameras, and it's both gonna be shown on the same monitor. And I need to see the split screen so I can see both on one." And I was like, "Cool, yeah, sure." And then he just walked off, and I was like, "I am so fired." And I just like Legos. I just started putting everything together. And I put a lot of Velcro on the back of the monitor and I just slapped it on. And I turned on the monitor and the guy comes up and he goes, "You know what? That was pretty decent." He goes, "This is wrong, but that's okay. Don't worry about it." And then he goes, "Now you're going to set up the camera." And I'm like, "Ryan, I have to tell you something. This is my first day ever as a camera person." And he just goes, "I am so sorry." He goes, let me start over. Let me teach you what we need to do." And on that same day, they were teaching me about the memory cards and what we're filming.
Oh, okay.
um, and while we were filming, they were like, "You're responsible for this card. You need to get this to the DIT guy so he can
Yeah.
download the footage. He'll bring you
Yeah.
back the card." All right, cool. So I get the card and I'm loading them into this like little container that we have to protect it.
Yeah.
And I guess it opened up
Oh,
and it just vanished.
man.
And I walked up to the cameraman and I was like, "I lost the movie." And and I just remember how calm Jay was. He just sits there and
Oh,
goes,
man.
"Okay. Does anyone else know?" And I'm like, he goes, "Great. It's going to stay that way.
Oh,
We
man.
are going to find it." And all day, we looked all day everywhere. I was so stressed, dude.
God.
And by the grace of God, we wrapped. Everyone was packing up, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Well, it was a pleasure meeting you guys. Like, honestly, you guys were super dope. Like, I know there's like 2 more months of this movie, but I am out of here." And then all of a sudden, Ryan goes, "Found it." I was
Oh,
like,
dude. Heck yeah.
it was the best worst experience of my life.
Oh,
And
God, dude.
but like the thing they told me is he goes, "The good thing about this, Julian, is it'll never happen again." And it hasn't. Man, I look out for that thing all the
Oh,
time. But
God.
yeah, that's how cool film sets are though. Like, you know what I
That's
mean? Like
cool,
you
man.
can, yeah.
Man, I was already sweating, bro. I'm not even on this set. I'm all like, bro, what happened? Like, I'm all
Imagine
sweating
losing a
right now.
movie
Like,
for
oh,
like a $3 million movie. Oh my God,
oh,
dude.
shit. That's crazy, bro. Oh my God, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that. What a great way to end the episode, man, with a story
Oh
like
yeah, dude. Thank you so
uh
much for having me,
I had to
man.
splash my face with water now just to wake myself. Like, hey, that wasn't you, okay? Like, all right, cool. That
I'll
wasn't
see you
me.
on Friday.
$3 million film, man. I had nothing to do with it. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
already feeling
Oh
that
my God.
pressure. Damn.
Well, dude, thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to Friday. Let's definitely link up and at least just say hi and
Of course, dude.
I'll high
Yeah.
five you before I leave to my next
Yeah, please
meeting.
do. We'll even get a photo of us jumping, high fiving. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah, yeah.
capture
There
that
you go.
moment like
Done,
that.
done. Exactly.
Put
Full
a little
team.
spark in there. We'll edit that. Put a little spark light in there.
We'll have Ryan in the middle. He'll be like there with the slate and we'll just
That's funny, dude. Hey, I do want to
oh
I do
man.
want to let you know. So my brother is actually because I know you asked me this about the film real quick.
Yeah.
But my brother's actually a filmmaker in La Mirada, California. So he went to Biola University. He's actually doing pretty well in the film industry. So him and I want to collab in doing some future work. So he's
Yeah.
already done some stuff where he's gone into some film fests.
Hmm.
So he's done pretty well for himself. But that's one thing I want to do is I told my brothers I want to be like a background actor where I could just stand in for like a minute or so.
Yeah, yeah.
But anything just to have that experience or just being on set to get experience. And that's why I want to help
Yeah,
Ryan
man.
too. So.
Well,
That's
let's set up a meeting between the three of us and let's figure out like kind of what the game plan is. I will tell you what I'm seeing as far as like from a business standpoint as a producer, like what's doable, what's not doable,
yeah,
and like the workaround to make it doable. And like let's come up with a plan so we can make put this together.
that'd be great, man. I would love that.
All
Yeah.
right.
And yeah, we'll see what the future of Rhythm and Roads and Valley sessions can be.
Oh, dude, yeah, I definitely think especially with your name, it just works.
Oh, I
Like,
know,
you know what
right?
I mean?
Rhythm and
Like,
Roads. Yeah.
yeah, Rhythm and Roads. All we do is music and with Valley Sessions. You know, let's put these things together and let's make something dope, man.
Hey, I'm all for it, dude. Yeah, love that. And I hope to see you
All
Friday,
right.
man. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, I'll hold you up to that high five. We gotta.
no, for
It'll
sure.
take us a couple takes.
No, we'll have to definitely have fun with it. We'll even do that little, what is it? The boomerang on the cameras.
Oh yeah,
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 you
yeah,
jump
yeah.
up. Like,
Just jump over and over again. Yeah, yeah, it'll be great.
yeah, dude. Well, thank you,
Well,
Julian Cavett, for coming on
dude,
Rhythm and Road, sharing your incredible journey and the story, and just, man, so much. It's just awesome, man, that you're living the impossible. That's the
thank you
slogan for
so
Rhythm
much.
and Roads, man. Live the impossible. You're
Yeah,
out there doing it. So that's awesome, dude.
dude. Well, yeah, man. Let's do it together soon. Like, see you on Friday, and let's see about working together and keeping this going.
There we go,
I
brother.
love Rhythm and Roads.
All right,
Later,
man.
man.
Sounds good, man. Thank you again for coming on.